Anglican Diocese in Zimbabwe and the neighbouring Diocese of Rochester with the fifth, Harare. Would the Noble Lord the Minister agree that the systemic corruption and long-standing poor level of governance in that country continually undermines civil society and reduces the well-being of the people and all the institutions, including the Church, in Zimbabwe?
Well, Lord, Zimbabwe is a country with extraordinary potential and an extraordinary history, and of course it is right that current political the current political approach inhibits that potential. And the UK is a long-standing partner of Zimbabwe. We provide significant levels of ODA, of aid. But I just want to be clear to the House that when we do so in a way that avoids government-to-government bilateral financial aid. In other words, none of the money that we provide is channeled through the government. Instead, we work through multilateral organizations, and wherever we possibly can, we support civil society and NGOs in the private sector.
My Lords, just picking up on that point, I have raised on numerous occasions with ministers the continued repression of civil society in Zimbabwe, including trade unionists. Could the Noble Lord the Minister tell us what is the latest FCDO's assessment of the passage of the Private Voluntary Organisations Amendment Bill, which ministers have acknowledged could be used to restrict civil space? Could he tell us also how we are working with allies and global civil society to ensure, and interfaith groups, to ensure that it's their voice that's heard in Zimbabwe and not simply government voices?
The government very much agrees with the opening remarks of the Noble Lord. We are concerned that the Private Voluntary Organisations Amendment Bill, if it becomes law and if it is implemented, could very easily be used to undermine the ability of civil society to operate effectively in Zimbabwe, and it puts at risk as well their ability to deliver development and humanitarian assistance. We engage very, very widely, not only with civil society within Zimbabwe, not only through our overseas development assistance, which I mentioned earlier, but also, importantly, with South Africa. And we have long, deep-standing ties, as Noble Lords will know, with South Africa, recognise the important role that the African Union and Southern African Development Community, or SADC, have in relation to Zimbabwe, and that the UK officials speak very, very often on